Welcome to the old Destin Post Office. Many towns in the United States can boast a long postal history, but not many can boast about one family handling the mail for 76 years. But Destin can with the Marler family. This building, the man that built it, and the family members that were to carry on that postal legacy for a small fishing village would hold a part of the unique history of Destin. Step back in time and explore the governmental history of Destin and its early leaders. In the early days of the village of East Pass, locals had to go by boat to Camp Walton or Pensacola to barter and trade for the things they needed and mail. The desire for mail to be brought to the shores of this little community began the story of this building. In 1896, William T. Marler was the only young adult with a dock long enough on the bay for the supply boat to land. He wanted them to bring the mail. Even in 1896, you had to fill out government paperwork. When he filled the paperwork out, he became the official postmaster. Marler family members would be postmasters from 1896 all the way to 1972. Also, when he filled the paperwork out, it required a name of the town. The little village had been referred to as East Pass, but that name refers to the water opening to the Gulf. So he thought about it and put Destin, referring to his best friend and first employer. He started his work career at age 12 with Leonard Destin, who made the first lasting imprint on the East Pass Peninsula. Life of the old post office. 1934. William T. Marler begins construction of the building to correspond with the opening of the bridge in 1936. He built the building and all the interior cabinets. The building was located on Calhoun Avenue in front of his home along Choctawhatchee Bay. Prior to this, beginning in 1896, the mail was brought by boat to his dock and passed out in the parlor of his home. Later, he built a small store between his house and the dock where the mail was delivered. 1936. The opening of the Destin Bridge enabled the mail to come by vehicle to the Destin Post Office. 1936 to 1951. The building serviced the Destin community and was the social center of Destin. 1951 to the mid-1960s. The U.S. Postal Department leased a portion of a building on Highway 98 to the house of the post office. This building housed the Silver Sands Sundries and Restaurant, the United States Post Office, and the Calhoun Cox Real Estate Office. Later, the Postal Department built a new post office facility on the adjacent property. The little building that William T. Marler built, owned by the Marler family, became vacant. 1981 to 2000. A group known as the Old Destin Post Office Museum, Incorporated, raised the needed funds to have the building moved to its location by the Destin Community Center and to restore the building inside and out. Artifacts were collected and prepared for display. The ODPOM was dedicated November 11, 1983, and opened to the public with the purpose to preserve some of the old Destin atmosphere, customs, and traditions. As a part of the dedication, the first history of Destin and the Roots Run Deep by Vivian Foster Mattei and Associates was introduced to the public. In addition, for the first time ever, a display of a great number of privately owned paintings by Captain John A. Destin were displayed. 2006. The ODPOM Incorporated was merged into the Destin History and Fishing Museum. The building is one of the very few remaining historic buildings in Destin. It's filled with exhibits and a part of the DFM tour. 2015. The City of Destin and the Destin Chamber of Commerce Destin Forward class makes renovations to the building. April 20th, 2015. Ducky Johnson Movers Incorporated moved the building to its new site. Founders Day, May 2nd, 2015. The old post office is rededicated and becomes a focal point of the Destin History and Fishing Museum Historic Park. Take a look around at some of the actual history of Old Destin.